This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 13th day of March in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here is what we're tracking tonight. On a day of court hearings, noisy objections, diplomatic walkouts, and threats of isolation, the Guyana Elections Commission moved the tabulation process for Region 4 to its headquarters in Kingston, and tempers flared quickly between representatives for two of the parties. Late this afternoon, the process was halted again after a verbal and physical altercation between a representative of the ANUG and a representative from APNU-AFC. The candidate from a new and united Guyana was seen shoving the female APNU-AFC representative after they got into a loud argument, after he repeatedly shouted at the GCOM officials conducting the exercise.
Thank you for raising me. I will take no further part in this fiasco. You are
Sir.
You shut up! You want to hear
Earlier this afternoon, the process at the GCOM headquarters resumed, with the tabulation being done by statements of poll. The Elections Commission agreed to have its statements of poll displayed by a projector onto a screen. The chairperson of the Elections Commission, retired Justice Claudette Singh, said the process will continue until completed, and if there is a need for a recount of votes, the Commission will be ready for that. Justice Singh was at the High Court this morning, along with GCOM's attorneys and attorneys for the People's Progressive Party.
If there's discrepancy, I would say they would be addressed at the end, and if they cannot be addressed, then why not a recount?
You open to recount?
Before too, yes, box by box.
Even though we have a limited time frame, with the time running on us?
No, the time when we would work day and night.
The PPP filed a contempt order, but the Chief Justice ordered the parties to mediate and find a solution to the issues being raised. Once the sides addressed their issues, they agreed to resume the process by statements of poll, and for those statements to be visible to everyone. PPP attorney and candidate Anil Nandlal said the Chief Justice has made the issue clear, and the GCOM needs to follow the direction of the court.
The nation got an opportunity to hear the judge interpret her own order and judgment. The judge was excruciatingly clear that the process must be transparent and the statements of poll must be the basis of the process. That it must either be held up so that people can see it and observe it, or better yet, put on a screen.
The tabulation process initially started this morning, but loud concerns were raised by the PPP and some of the other small parties, as some of the statements of poll in their possession did not match the ones that were being read out by the returning officer. More news coming up in a moment.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyana's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyana's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
Welcome back. The Organization of American States Observer Mission has announced its withdrawal from Guyana as there continues to be controversy over the Region 4 results for the elections and the ongoing process of tabulation. In a statement this afternoon, the OAS mission said the process employed by the returning officer for Region 4 to tabulate results is not a transparent one, and based on the numbers that have emanated since the process was first disrupted, it is unlikely to produce a result that is credible and is able to command public confidence. According to the OAS, the legitimacy of any government that is installed in the circumstances will be open to question, and that will be a terrible blow to the country's democracy. The statement was issued even as the returning officer for Region 4 agreed to have the tabulation process done statement by statement, with the statements of poll being displayed prominently for all the parties to see. That agreement followed the intervention of the Chief Justice after a matter was taken to her this morning about the same situation. In its statement this afternoon, the OAS Observer Team said the mission has noted that images of the statements of poll published by the opposition PPP Civic on its website, which it claims were given to its polling agents after the ballots were counted at each polling station on the night of the elections, produce a result that is vastly different from that being declared by the returning officer and would have a decisive effect on the outcome of the national election. The OAS claims that neither GCOM nor the APNU-AFC has challenged the PPP statement, but in a statement earlier this week, President David Granger did describe the declarations by the PPP as a falsification of fact. The OAS Election Observer Mission said it was pleased to have declared that the 2nd of March elections was in almost all respects well executed. And now let's tell you that the diplomatic representatives of the US, the UK, Canada, and the EU have issued another warning to Guyana about the conduct of the elections. Hours after walking out of a GCOM tabulation process for Region 4, the 4 diplomatic representatives issued a joint statement explaining that they decided to leave the Region 4 tabulation process, as it was clear to them that a transparent and credible process was not put in place by the responsible officials. They also said they were concerned about intimidation tactics that they observed were against those seeking to ensure that a credible process was being followed. The diplomats said they must make it clear that in the absence of a credible process as directed by the Chief Justice, it is their view that any results for Region 4 which will impact the overall results of the 2nd of March elections will not be credible, and the president sworn in on the basis of those results will not be considered legitimate. They added that they have been long-standing friends of Guyana and have supported Guyana in its development over many decades. The betterment of Guyana, they said, and its people has always been their interest. In that spirit, they said, they urge all parties to not do anything which could lead to Guyana's isolation. Let's tell you now that President David Granger convened a meeting of several government officials this morning to finalize the government's action plan in wake of the first case of the coronavirus being confirmed in Guyana. Though details of the meeting were not forthcoming, the Ministry of Education later announced the closure of schools for 2 weeks, beginning on Monday. A number of private schools have also announced their closure for a similar period. At the Chedijagan Airport, the situation remains on high alert. This morning, a Trinidadian man was blocked from boarding a Caribbean Airlines flight back home after it was discovered that he sat next to the woman who turned out to be Guyana's first coronavirus case. The man was told that he would be placed in quarantine for 14 days. He was held in a room at the airport's port facility and was expected to be transferred to one of the quarantine sites. The woman who died at the Georgetown Hospital arrived in Guyana last weekend on a Caribbean Airlines flight. The flight originated in Queens, New York, but she spent some time in Trinidad where she changed planes. Her family members have been told to remain in self-quarantine as fears remain about their exposure to the virus. Meanwhile, this afternoon it was announced that the Guyana-Suriname ferry service was suspending all operations in wake of Suriname's first case of the coronavirus. Suriname will also be closing the airspaces tonight and has banned all public gatherings of over 100 persons. The closure of Suriname's airspace will affect those flights between Georgetown and Suriname. At least one small local airline operates daily flights between Ogle and Suriname, and then Suriname Airways operates a number of flights weekly. Guyana, Suriname, Brazil, and Venezuela have all reported cases of the coronavirus. Antigua became the latest CARICOM state reporting a case of the virus today. In the courts right now, the two women who admitted in court today that they were responsible for the recording and distribution of a sex video involving a friend of theirs have been sentenced to 3 years in jail and fined $5 million each. Appearing before Senior Magistrate Lerone Daly, 23-year-old Janelle Williams and 21-year-old Melissa Pestano opted not to waste the court's time and pleaded guilty to the charge of using a cell phone to transmit explicit material and using a computer to cause distress to the complainant, Teresa Pollard. The court was told that the events took place back in the month of January, when the two women decided to carry out the act after one of them, Melissa Pestano, learned that her friend Teresa Pollard was having an affair with her husband. The two, along with the husband, agreed to launch an operation to embarrass the friend, Teresa Pollard. The husband rented a room at a KNVC hotel and informed his wife of the room that he would be in with her friend Teresa. With a cell phone set on recording, the wife barged into the unlocked room and started to record her husband and her friend Teresa in the sex act. She immediately sent the video to her co-conspirator, who used a computer to upload the sex video to social media and distribute it via WhatsApp. In sentencing the two women, the magistrate reprimanded them for their actions and told them that she hopes they will learn from their mistakes. The two women were carted off to jail immediately to begin their 3-year jail sentence. Across the Region is coming up next.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Falls, a trademark of China's Zhanghao Incorporated, located at Land of Cane in East Bank, Demerara, was incorporated in April of 2013, with over $10 billion Guyana dollars invested in a state-of-the-art 100,000 barrel fuel storage facility, a modern service station, an office complex, and a modern wharf that can berth international vessels. Having no association with any other fuel company, Falls imports its own fuel, which meets quality specifications, has all the legal permits, and is in compliance with international requirements. Its bulk facility can load 8 trucks simultaneously at a rate of 1,000 liters per minute, while the service station can service 12 cars at a time using computerized fuel pumps, which can facilitate the use of ATM cards. Through its professional team of mostly Guyanese, Falls wholesales and retails fuels to the public, including farmers and miners, and will continue to positively contribute to Guyana by providing quality products, service, and attractive prices. Try Falls today for all your fuel needs.
Across the region right now, Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda Gaston Brown today announced that Antigua and Barbuda has recorded its first case of the coronavirus, COVID-19. In an address to the nation, the Prime Minister called for his citizens to remain calm as he noted the risk of transmission is low. He said the person concerned is in self-isolation at home, and the regime has been put in place not only to continue such isolation, but to treat the condition. The infected person is a woman who arrived in Antigua on the 10th of March via a British Airways flight from the UK, and she traveled directly to her mother's home after deplaning. Brown said she started to present symptoms on the 11th of March. The woman visited a private hospital where medical officials took samples that were sent to the Caribbean Public Health Agency in Trinidad and Tobago for testing. Those results returned positive. Over in Jamaica, the carnival celebrations there have been postponed by 6 months. The new date is October, and it is a safety measure against the spread of the coronavirus on the island. Jamaica has already recorded 8 cases of the coronavirus. The chairman of the Carnival and Jamaica Stakeholders Committee, Kamal Bankay, made the announcement today about the postponement after the number of the COVID-19 cases in the island quadrupled overnight. He said the road parade, which was originally scheduled for the 19th of April, has now been moved to the 25th of October. Carnival in Jamaica organizers had earlier this week expressed optimism that the event would still go on as scheduled, despite 1 case being confirmed in the island. And finally tonight, international news. The number of deaths from the coronavirus in Italy has risen by 250 to 1,266, the largest increase in absolute terms since the outbreak began, according to the country's Civil Protection Agency. Officials said the total number of cases had risen from 15,113 to 17,660. The increase in the death rate is also the same as the figure for China's worst day on the 13th of February, when, according to the World Health Organization, the city of Wuhan, the epicenter of the coronavirus, reported 254 additional deaths. Meanwhile, the Danish Prime Minister has announced that her country will close its borders on Saturday until the 13th of April. While Danish citizens will still be allowed to enter, those of other nationalities will need a valid reason to travel to Denmark to be allowed in. It will still be possible to transport food, medicine, and other necessary goods to Denmark, the government says. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.